So I'm going to put on my slippers and a brown pair of shorts over my purple leisure suit after I put in my pearly whites. Go trim the neighbor's yard because I have a oral contract with them. And people do what they say they'll do. But you don't have to like my dress. But all them girls shows say, oh, this is what I'm wearing. I'm going out to do labor. So we'll take this little hyper tough battery and plug it into that weed eater while the other one's charged. You know. Because I spaced out plugging them in. Since this is a film about batteries. Now, advertising. People get mad at me for being a salesman here at the Youth Truth Show. I'd appreciate it if you comment, push the like button, subscribe. When they tell you don't sell your product, don't listen to bobbleheads. Naysayers keep you from the money. Trolls are the worst. Yep, I have business cards like a salesman. They send me a text every day. For months. Harbor Freight. Because they want me to go buy another tool. They're not too bad. Not a sponsor. Well, I told you it's the rabbit party for a reason. I believe this is the big buck taking care of all them ladies. And me, for rent on the dry hall called the Someday I'll Fix It Up and See If I Can Get My Lady to wear that pink and gray bikini. And my rent is a verbal contract. And I'll kind of take care of the widow and her sister by mowing the lawn. And I weed eat and do a little extra while the bunny rabbits at the party look at me strangely. Wildlife always appears in my show. That's why I said, do it yourself. Business 101 and a little wildlife. Whatever lives in this environment. Hot diggity dog. I call him Fuzzy. So we might start right here in my purple leisure suit with slippers on. And I'm not sure I would want this weed growing right there because they're a lot of work. That other little tree might have to go, so I'll have to go find my lopper-doppers. I'll be back in a little more than a few heartbeats because my heart's still beating. And while I try and make a show. Ooh, camera skills. I should cut that out, maybe I won't. Alright, we're set up. Go get the lopper-doppers. Yeah, in a homestead, you gotta take care of every inch, including this little patch. So if you want to own property, I don't know whether you can see it because I don't have a cameraman. Woo. I don't know if I can pull that one out by its roots. And you can only do an hour a day if you want to keep up or whatever. Or you can go to town. But not if the batteries only give you 22 minutes and you want to make a YouTube show. Timber! Once a year. You know, that's last year's growth. I did it last year. Trying to get the water to flow into the driveway. It was already designed. I thought it was okay. Well, shade tree engineered. Sort of. The best as you can. These little fender clips, I don't know if they're in the show. I'll put them in my box of nuts and bolts. Watch that show. I must be a millionaire, because I have all the nuts and bolts a man might need in a pinch. Probably only do it once a year, but that's what I do. A little bit here, a little bit there, because I got to keep up on my homestead as well. And that weed fabric just doesn't work. And I'm not sure whether I'll move all the rocks. They look heavy. Time consuming. You might call this good enough for government work. Good enough. German manufacturing. Good enough. Oh, pine cone. We'll go plant some trees. And you might have to get on your knees. Hell, that rhymes. Ooh, mushrooms. Oh, I killed it. A mushroom. I tell you, I tried to kill the fungus in my backyard with soap from the washing machine. Ooh, mushrooms. Our spores are already gone. So there'll be millions of more mushrooms. Not yet quite German engineering. I don't know if it's good enough. Me, mister, try to make it perfect, but knowing I can't be perfect. Really sucks being human. And what do the customers expect? Perfection! Or you'll get trolled by them bobbles heads and naysayers. But meanwhile, I don't know the limits of my contract, because I said I'd mow it. I didn't say I'd weed it, trim it, and be the caretaker. But I do that anyway, because as a businessman, I always give a little more than expected. And if they want to critique that, it's their problem, not mine. More trees, pine cones. Wonder where it came from. got rust on it, so it has mineralization. Maybe we should go gold mining. But the gold mine is the YouTube channel. And I may be the only one that believes that. But that's my prerogative. To go after my life, liberty, and happiness, not yours. So, and to fulfill my verbal obligations, because you got to do it with honor. At least try to. Give a little more than the other guy expects. I don't know. I want to dig them out by the roots. But my favorite tool, the reciprocating saw broke. And I had to dug underground and cut them roots out. But I'll get them next time, maybe. Next year. Because it just keeps adding up. More tree. More wheat. More water. God's been good to us with the water this year. I set this can over here. 5 nights at Freddy's. Pretty cool can. Colorful. Well, I don't know if it's in the picture. That's a problem. But I don't have time to move back and forth because I got to get my work done. So I put it over here. I might want that for the show, but it's theirs. And I'm doing this because I couldn't do my 22 minutes of lawn mowing because I spaced out and didn't plug it in. Damn batteries. I think this show's about batteries. But who knows, it's about yours truly. Crazy old man trying to make a YouTube channel. But I'm not going to let anybody else tell me I'm crazy. I think I'm smart. Oh, diggity dog. Because I have a dream and would tell the kids, go for it. What have you got to lose? Except time and fun. I think it's fun, especially if you're alone. And I'll get yelled at for leaving these here until I get to the trash can. And they won't even see the pretty little corner of the homestead. Lapperdappers, cool. Have you got a pair? Oh, that might be something else. You have to have some brass going on to really have a pair. Well, I'm hoping this little machine recovered the data because Allie came out and spoke to me while I try to clean up this with that little battery. Wow, I'm a salesman. I'm gonna be a rock star on YouTube, starting my own business. Oh, well, if I gotta do labor, I might as well try and make passive income, right? And I don't know if I'm funny, helpful, or encouragement to our youth.
You might be.
Have I given you my card?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know it. I'm a businessman. I printed cards and I'm a salesman. Hi, Maurice.
How you doing, buddy?
Oh, great.
I was checking my grandson.
I know I'm a fool. But what do you do with your old age? At the moment, I'll have to get my broom out. I don't have a weed blower. But we'll use the 20-minute battery in this machine to its fullest extent. I sure hope that data was recovered. The real question will be, do you have enough string? Where the heck's the button? There it is. Don't want to waste any, 'cause I'm cheap. But a rock will eat that string up. I got short already. A lot of friction going on. But it is easier than pulling weeds. And I know you can't see it, because I need a cameraman. I don't have time to readjust every minute of the picture. I made that bench for them. They wanted it. So I turned a piece of junk into a piece of art. There's a few weeds here I'll have to get to, because I'm the only one that'll do it. But we're going to try and eliminate this weed patch. Well, I might have a little battery left, because I can only work as hard as the batteries do.
Or maybe it comes down to the string. And of course it costs money. But nobody accounts for that. But only a businessman would put that on the balance sheet. I don't know. It's a business channel. So if you're going to start a lawn mowing business, you should calculate what streams are, and how much time you're going to have to use weed eating your client's yard. I know the picture's not in focus, but dang right, I don't have time. Time is money. To keep going over there and seeing if it's in frame. The hardest part of making a channel by yourself. More string. It's got manual feed string. Oh, I can't get it to release. I'm gonna have to take it apart. Maybe I've run out of string. Yeah, a pretty picture of the weeds, eh? Damn, I wish I had a cameraman. But they cost money. Oh, you can't get nobody to do it. They're all freaking cheaper than me. Well, you have to calculate this equipment malfunction into your business. And the bosses shouldn't give people some unrealistic time limit. That would be a beef of mine. Spring! I probably am out. Dang rain. Maybe not. Just got stuck. But you know, the boss don't account for this time. He thinks if the world is perfect. Perfect. Not me. Because I'm flawed, so is business. But on YouTube they'll make it look perfect, easy peasy. Not here at the YouTube show. Subscribe. Dang. I'll keep trying to sell, remember? It's a salesman's channel. I hate this'll. It'll put stickers in my hands. But I got rough hands with rubies on it. Sapphire. Silver. But the real question would be, should I have hand pulled all these weeds? It's not in my contract. But I'll mow them down because I got to do my 22 minutes. As long as the battery lasts. But you better use up some string. Oh, so now would you calculate that into your appraisal? then you might have to decide when it's good enough for government work. Or did you fulfill your contract? Or more? Because we've had a lot more rain than usual this year. But my contract didn't specify, well, I'll do it 3 times or whatever. It says I'll try to keep up with the rain. I have to go get gloves. I normally, but that's thistle. I don't want them little stickers in my hands. Here's a pretty good rain gauge. We must have had 2.5 inches in a week. That might be 3. Dang right. That's way above average. That's why everybody's grass is green and growing crazy. Well, like everything, I didn't get finished because the battery won't keep up with what I can do. So I have to charge it, goof around for a couple hours. Hot diggity dog, youth truth show. Damn, I better plug it in, like everything, including the phone, because the battery won't last. At the rabbit party. Harbor Freight, right on time. You better be a salesman. Get some cards. Push yourself. And what I would tell people is if they have a concealed carry permit, I believe in open carry, you're going to know I'm carrying something. Colt made the world equal. You know, we all have the Second Amendment right to self-defense, but I'm not going to hide it. And that son of a buck is the quickest draw McGraw you ever saw. If you want to go west. Yeah, I know YouTube will cancel me for that pretty thing. That in the business channel is a inflation fighting asset. If you know anything about economics, excuse me, that's the medicine. Of my, not a sponsor, that works for Flower Gold Wizard in your study of what works on YouTube. But I prefer the high life with my rabbit. Checking out the weed eater, you can't put nothing on hold. You know, hyper tough. You know, they send me an email every day, but I know they can be annoying. So I try not to do that to my friends, but I'm the one sitting on my porch playing with rabbits, wondering if I should go do 22 minutes on my oral obligation, and I will. Well, sweetie, with big ears. And I tolerate her a little bit. You know, my goodness, man, if you're going to have a pet, give him a cool cage.
I got mats so she could come running straight to her cubbyhole. And she'll sit here within inches of me. And you wonder why technical difficulties. I don't know whether I got big thumbs, but you wonder why I call it the rabbit party and have made intellectual property, because in my grandpa's book, public speaking is the last chapter. So all you young people may not even think about exercising your rights until you get older, more wise, and realize what they mean. But everybody asks me what's different about today. Well, not a doggone thing, except, even in my case, everything's about me. No. I'm using me to try and tell you everything's about figuring out a way to enjoy life, liberty, and happiness. And have a friend to share it with. That's the enrich your life part. Oh, but I don't know how to keep away the finances. So I'll be canceled because I talk about money. But if you want a market share that everybody's worried about, that's where I thought money might appeal to everybody. But they'll call it boasting. An old man sitting in the backyard on a well-earned porch with his rabbit sitting by his weed eater while he's gonna go out and do his duty with business card like subscribe, comments. I know I'm only trying to get a C- in liberal arts, because C's get degrees. Personal challenge is all. So don't be a cock-a-doodle-doo. Just do it. There it is. Nike, not a sponsor yet. Thank you. Still relaxing next to the other, not a sponsor. I'll only promote what I found to work and use. And whether them guys will eventually support me. But I don't like begging, solicit donations. I'll have to cut that down small. I earned every dollar over my 66-year career for the ones I love.